right after Donald Trump announced his executive order on digital assets to create a strategic crypto reserve, including XRP, Solana, and ADA. XRP's price pumped nearly 40% in 24 hours. Cardano's price pumped over 100% in just 3 days. And Solana pumped nearly 40% as well too. Now this has led a lot of people to speculate on which cryptocurrencies are going to be the next to pump with the new US crypto policy shift happening in America. And what's even crazier is these $10,000 XRP price predictions getting posted out there. Now, before you write this video off as a conspiracy theory, I want you to watch this and share your thoughts on it. And then towards the end of this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys exactly what's happening on the price chart for XRP, along with Total 3, which is the entire altcoin market, and some key bullish and bearish divergences that we can see happening right now in real time to deliver you nothing but the facts. So that way you can prepare yourself properly for the most likely scenario to happen next, to protect your capital so you're not buying into the hype, buying into the fear of missing out, or selling into the FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So if you guys have seen all those crazy price predictions, new world order, great financial reset, quantum financial system, as you already know, in these videos, we bring you nothing but the truth, nothing but the facts, and allow you to formulate your own opinion, because we do not provide financial advice, just education and informational purposes only, as you obviously understand, because you are very intelligent crypto degenerate here. Crypto's risky. You could lose money in these markets. You could be living in a van down by the river if you buy any of these currencies. So don't buy anything I talk about in these videos. Watch what I'm about to share with you with an open mind, because I'm going to be delivering with you guys some information on the charts that is undeniable proof of what's coming next. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So if you guys want a no-nonsense approach on how to do technical analysis in the markets to truly understand what's taking place in real time, then we just launched our Technical Analysis Tuesdays calls inside of Altcoin Pro University every single Tuesday between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can attend live. And then we also have our Monday calls as well too, State of the Market. Our next Monday call is coming up. We're gonna have a expert guest come on with you guys, so it's going to be absolutely incredible. So get ready for that call, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have our next Tuesday technical analysis, and then we have our crypto catch-up call between 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday. So today's Thursday. You most likely missed this call by the time that you're watching this video, but you can join Altcoin Pro University right now. Only $97 a month. Guys, if you're not happy, if you don't get any results, we have a money-back guarantee within your first 14 days. So worst case scenario, you learn something new, not the right thing for you. That's completely fine. Best case scenario, you get results, you completely change your life, because we have people winning each and every single day in the markets in multiple verticals. For example, since Mantle's launch, they did an airdrop, and this airdrop was worth $1,600. And the best part, it didn't cost a dime. Just some farming, which our research team explains in the back office for you guys. So if you want other opportunities in crypto and you want a no-nonsense approach to technical analysis, then attend the next Technical Analysis Tuesday call and join the Monday call coming up as well too. But for this video, what we're going to dive into is what's coming tomorrow and what effect this will most likely have on the price chart. So I'm going to get into this price chart, and I'm going to show you guys some divergences that I'm seeing here. But first things first, the biggest winners in the crypto space of US crypto policy are going to be made in the USA companies. This is just hands down the truth, in my opinion, just because of what Trump has been saying recently and wanting to make America the crypto capital of the world. And so we can see which projects have been mentioned by Trump here and which ones are made in the USA, along with having ETF applications, along with blockchain projects attending the White House. And we can see right here mentioned by Trump, obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, ADA, ETF applications for Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, and ADA. So these are going to be the main ones right here. Now, the ones that Trump necessarily haven't mentioned yet would be like Algorand, Ondo, Optimism, and a few others. And so ultimately what happens in the markets is we see short-term temporary news like this cause a bullish effect in the markets. And the real question is, will this be sustainable, or will we see another sell-off to the downside after Friday is done? Because people are buying the rumors of what Trump's going to say, even though nothing's been said yet. He hasn't given any speech. We just see lists coming out there about who's attending. So this lady right here, Eleanor Tourette, she's a reporter for Fox right here, and she usually comes out with some pretty good information. She just posted this recently with an updated list for Friday's White House Crypto Summit of who will be attending. So now confirmed, Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, is now confirmed. Anchorage CEO, we got Crypto.com CEO, we got Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss from Gemini. We got Robinhood CEO, Kraken CEO, MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor is going to be there. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, co-founder of Chainlink, co-founder of World LibertyFi, Exodus CEO. We also have Paradigm CEO and Bitcoin Magazine CEO. And so with the main phrase that Trump has been throwing around a lot and legacy media is starting to say is golden era for crypto. And this has led people to post things out there talking about XRP going to $10,000 and that market cap does not apply to XRP the way that most people think it does. Now, if you haven't seen this video yet, check this out.
Most people think XRP can't hit $10,000 because of market cap. Market cap doesn't apply to XRP the way you think. It's built for high-speed transactions, settling in 3 to 5 seconds. This means the same XRP can be reused up to 50 times per day. Moving $1 trillion daily needs just $20 billion in liquidity, not $1 trillion. Now, picture a tokenized global economy worth $1 to $2 quadrillion. If XRP handles just 10%, that's trillions in daily settlements. To support this, XRP's price must reach $10,000 or more. Here's another factor. XRP's circulating supply is limited to 53 billion tokens. For global liquidity, the price must be high enough to handle massive volumes. With institutions, CBDCs, and governments adopting XRP, demand will only grow. Here's why market cap doesn't matter. XRP's value isn't speculation, it's utility. It facilitates massive global transactions efficiently. The price must reflect this demand, not an arbitrary market cap calculation. The future is tokenized, and XRP is built for the next era of finance. Think XRP can hit $10,000? Drop XRP below.
All right, guys, so what are your thoughts on that? Because when stuff like this comes out, people are so quick to buy into the hype. And my goal here is to provide you guys with realistic expectations, as I have done in every single video if you actually watch the videos, which I know you do, the reason why you're watching to this point. But the real theory here is in stuff like this. For example, Echo the Truth posted this, saying crypto is about to go parabolic with the US debt clock dropping some wild updates that you can see right here, with federal income tax and corporate tax completely wiped out. That's basically them showing us the end of the IRS, but it's deeper than that. They're laying the groundwork for a decentralized financial system, one where blockchain DeFi and platforms like World Liberty Financial pave the way for a bankless, tax-free future. This isn't just a shift, it's a full-blown debt-to-wealth revolution. So we're stepping into a new reality where financial freedom isn't just a dream, it's happening. And this is what they're planning to do.
We're trying to build Wall Street 2.0, a new system built on more modern technologies with more modern capabilities. We're going to have to chip away at the obstacles that are preventing the type of interoperability, 24/7 access that we'd like to see. Companies like Ripple have been working on building interoperability with existing legacy systems so that we can meet our customers where they are and we can, start to transform the financial system into something that works better.
So clearly we're seeing a massive financial revolution take place, but how big will it really be? Well, we see these massive whale alerts happening all the time. For example, a whale just scooped up $77.5 million worth of XRP just one day before the White House Crypto Summit. And also the whale who longed $200 million in crypto right before Trump's strategic reserve announcement just changed his name to March 7th, which is the date of the White House Summit tomorrow. And some other on-chain data is showing an entity just bought 17,855 Ethereum for $36 million, bringing its total holdings to over 1 million Ethereum. That's 2.5 billion. So with this accumulation taking place of whales buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, this gives us a hint that something big is coming. Now let's look at the charts and let's talk about that in a bit. But first, if you guys haven't seen this post comparing XRP's on-chain metrics to other blockchains, definitely check that out on Bull Runners HQ. It breaks down how XRP Ledger stacks up to like Solana, Ethereum, and BNB, which caused a lot of controversy because it's lackluster in terms of stablecoin transfers, active wallet addresses. For example, XRP's wallet addresses was underneath 40,000, whereas Solana is over 4.3 million, Ethereum is over 400K, and BNB is over 1 million. Leading to many arguments out there about people saying that, well, XRP on a private ledger is a different price than the public ledger, and that most of the actual transactions and big money moves are happening off chain that's not showed on the public ledger. So this led people like this, Vincent Van Code, to post stuff saying how XRP could reach $10,000 with the US government buying XRP using treasury bills. Let me know your guys' thoughts here, because ChatGPT analyzed the scenario and said that yes, the US government could buy XRP escrow at a fixed $10,000 per token using treasury bills and would effectively set the global price at that level. Here's how the scenario might play out. And let's just read this for fun here, and then let's talk about a realistic scenario of what's coming next on the price chart based on facts here, okay? So number one, how the US could buy XRP at 10K using T-bills. Step one, off-market XRP escrow purchase. The US Treasury or a specific financial entity like the Federal Reserve or IMF negotiates directly with Ripple Labs to acquire the XRP escrow. They agree on a fixed price of $10,000 per XRP. Instead of paying in cash, The US issues treasury bills, which Ripple can hold as reserves, use as collateral, and sell on secondary markets for liquidity. Step 2 would be global price pegging. Once the US purchases XRP at 10K, the price becomes the benchmark. Other governments and institutions must follow, or they risk being priced out of the global financial market. If the IMF, the Bank for International Settlements, or Federal Reserve endorses XRP as a reserve asset, it would effectively lock in this valuation. So why would the US do this? And why wouldn't they just buy it for, $3 or less rather than $10,000? Well, according to ChatGPT, it prevents market manipulation by China and other nations. If China or another country buys and dumps XRP, it won't crash below 10K because the US holds the majority in escrow. This prevents a financial war where hostile nations weaponize XRP against the global system, strengthens the US dollar while phasing it out. If XRP is pegged at 10K, it means all global settlements must use XRP. The US can still control global finance while moving to a post-USD system. Treasury bills remain valuable as Ripple and other holders must interact with USD denominated assets. XRP at 10K could be the backbone of a new global economy. Smart contracts, instant settlements, and tokenized assets would run on top of this system. So could this actually happen? Well, according to AI, yes, if the US wants to control the future of finance, buying XRP at a high price is a logical step. The IMF and Federal Reserve would need to support this shift. Other countries would have no choice but to adopt XRP or risk being left out of the new global economy. So what would happen to XRP holders? Well, if XRP is set at 10K, obviously current holders would instantly become multimillionaires. If that were to happen, governments might regulate retail ownership, requiring conversion into CBDCs or something else. So here's a major flaw here because Trump doesn't want CBDCs. This reminds me of what happened in 1971 when they took the dollar off the gold standard. They removed the redeemability for dollars for gold, and they confiscated gold from the American public, which basically revalued the price of gold. Maybe they would force people to convert XRP to something else. Private institutions, banks, and corporations would scramble to acquire XRP before it's fully controlled. So this would be the biggest financial event in history. If the US buys XRP escrow at 10K using treasury bills, it would reset the entire global financial system. XRP would replace the US dollar as the dominant reserve asset. Other nations must comply or risk financial collapse. And AI is saying this is a realistic scenario if the US wants to secure dominance in the blockchain era. It's not saying it's a preposterous scenario. So for the fact to say it's a realistic scenario, and if we ask Grok, is this a realistic scenario, and just paste that entire post right here, it breaks down this entire scenario right here on why the US would do it, the challenges. Obviously, there'd be some major challenges for this, but could this actually happen? So let's look at this. The probability, low to moderate, contingent on radical shifts. And massive economic risks like issuing 100 trillion in treasury bills could spike inflation, devalue the US dollar, or crash bond markets, undermining the plan's stability. So the final thoughts here is the impact potentially transformative, but very, very, very risky. Pegging XRP at 10K could shift the world to a blockchain-based system, sidelining the US dollar. So the reality check here, the likelihood is this scenario would require the perfect storm. US political alignment, global coordination, Ripple's cooperation, none of which are evident right now. So in conclusion, the scenario is theoretically possible, but hinges on radical, untested moves that defy current economic and political realities. A more realistic path might see XRP adoption organically by institutions, reaching a higher value over time without a dramatic flip the switch overnight thing. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. Now, theoretically, it's possible, and if that were to happen, I personally wouldn't be shocked. But do I think that's going to take place anytime soon, this bull run? I don't think so, this bull run. And we don't need XRP to hit $10,000 this bull run to make a lot of money. The first step is just to get through this lawsuit and get the ETFs approved, because if you guys missed this lawsuit update right here, follow Bull Runners HQ on Twitter right here, because it's not as simple for the SEC to just drop Ripple's case as it was to drop Coinbase, Robinhood, Uniswap, OpenSea, Consensus, and Gemini lawsuits. We unpackaged this all for you, and I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check out and read this for yourself. And when this case is expected to be dropped, based on what's currently going on right now. Because any pump in XRP, based on what's happening at the White House, based on any Trump announcements about a strategic reserve, they haven't been signed into law yet, guys. So it's all speculation right now. So XRP is moving purely off of speculation in the news in the short term. In the long term, it moves off global liquidity. So if we look at the chart right here on what happened back in 2020 and where we're at right now for Bitcoin in 2025, let alone total 3, which is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, let's look at the chart and let's compare back to the past here. Because we can see right here on the 11th of May of 2021, when the market cap of the whole industry was just shy of $1 trillion, the price chart topped out right here. And then we saw a bearish cross on the MACD. Now we saw several bearish crosses, like one prior to that. There was a major fake out for a high right here, and then a higher high in the price chart, whereas the MACD was putting in a lower high. This was essentially a bearish divergence where the price chart puts in a higher high, the indicator puts in a lower high. I've explained this multiple times to you guys right here, and you can see this clear as day, bearish divergence. And this means something is seriously messed up where momentum has shifted from bullish momentum, and we are going to see a bearish sell-off that is much bigger than these small little 20% sell-offs, even though 20% is crazy. And so what we saw was a 50 to 60% sell-off. Look at what happened to the MACD. The MACD crashed all the way down here below the zero line, massive reset, back down here, and then we went well below zero. So on the right-hand side of the screen, look at what happened on the MACD. We saw a bearish cross all the way up here on like the 9th of December. The price chart topped out, and then we see a lower high on the MACD and a little bit lower of a high on the price chart. So what that was is a exaggerated bearish divergence where the price chart is either like an equal high or barely lower high, and then a drastic lower high in the key indicator, which is what we saw right here by the end of January 2025. So this is a sign that there was like no steam left in the market to put in a new high, and that's why we saw this massive sell-off so far in the markets. From there, all the way down over 30 to 40% in the market. So here's what we need to look for on the chart if we zoom in. And I'll bring this up on the left-hand side of the screen, and then I'll compare it to the right-hand side of the screen so you guys can see some confluence here and some similarities. So when we saw this sell-off take place from $980-ish billion all the way up here, and we saw this bearish cross take place on the MACD, it was a sign that that bull run was over, because we saw several bearish crosses take place, and ultimately this was just a bearish divergence, right? So bearish divergence up here, a higher high in the price chart, lower high on the MACD right here, basically meaning that bullish move was over in the short term. Now, it didn't mean the bull run was over. It just meant that that major bullish move all the way up here was over, and we saw a trend reversal. So we saw in a lower low from the previous low, and then we saw a lower high. So now we're in a downtrend, right? So we're in a downtrend on the price chart. We're seeing a series of lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lower low right here. And so how do we know when this trend is going to end and we're not just going to keep going down? Very similar to what we're seeing right now. How do we know that this trend isn't just going to keep going down and put in lower lows? Pay attention. I'm going to share with you that right now. So what we want to look at is we want to look for divergences on the indicator, and we can use multiple indicators. For this video, we're going to use the MACD, and then in other videos, I'll bring up some other indicators for you guys and I'll show you that. So what we want to look at right here is we want to see where the MACD bottomed out in the past right here relative to the signal line and how far below the zero line we were. So right here, we're at about -45B. This is where the MACD line bottomed out, okay? Where was the price chart at that time? We were at about $520 billion. So I'll just clear the chart so you guys can see what I'm drawing up right here, and I'll circle where we are on this indicator and where we are on the price chart. So we see the price was attempting to make a recovery right here, and then we rallied up from that point to like 680 billion. We put in a lower high in the price chart. We formed a bullish cross right here. You don't want to just buy a bullish cross below zero on the MACD because it could be a fake out, and it takes time to recover out of these dips like this. And usually what we see is back tests of the first initial sell-off low multiple times before we see a breakout. Case in point is what I'm showing you right now. We see a bullish cross right here. The price attempts to make a recovery. This is a failed recovery because it's a lower high in the price chart, so we're still in a downtrend, right? So we get rejected from there. We put in a lower low on the price chart. But what's interesting here is if we look at the MACD, even with that fake out right here, we put in a higher low on the MACD, which if we look right here is a bullish divergence, meaning the price chart puts in a lower low, but the key indicator puts in a higher low. So that's exactly what happened. We went from 587 billion all the way down here to 380 billion. That's a lower low, whereas the MACD was putting in a higher low. So this was a great sign that this bearish move was nearing an end, but it doesn't mean that it's over yet because we want to look for confluence, okay? So we see a divergence taking place. That's number one. And what type of divergence was that? Again, this was a bullish regular divergence. A lower low on the price chart, which we can clearly see right here, 520 billion going down to 380 billion. That's a lower low. And then we can see a higher low on the key indicator right here, which is the MACD. We clearly see a higher low. So that's number one. We see bullish divergence. This is a sign that we could be seeing a reversal to the upside. So number two, we now want to look for confluence on the price chart of a trend reversal, okay? So what a trend reversal is very simple. It's now a series of higher highs and higher lows if we're in a downtrend. To see a trend reversal from an uptrend to downtrend, it'd be a series of lower highs and lower lows. So what we're in right here is a downtrend. We can see the high right here, about 1 trillion. We see a lower high right here of 700 billion. We just keep seeing lower highs. A lower high even got put in right here at $500 billion after this bullish cross took place. So we saw one bullish cross right here on the 2nd of June. We saw another bullish cross below zero after this bullish divergence took place. And that's when this attempted recovery took place. But it was a failed rally, a failed trend reversal because it's just simply a lower high, right? So we rolled back around again, and now we're seeing a higher low on the price chart. And simultaneously, we're now seeing a much higher high on the indicator. So this is a good sign that a reversal could be coming. Now, obviously, looking back, it's easy to see, but in the moment, you don't know because this is what you see on the price chart right here. A lot of people get fearful during this stage right here when they don't look at the key indicators and they don't look for confluence here. So you don't just buy into this right here, even though we're seeing a bullish divergence take place. We want to wait for a trend reversal as well too for the best possible entry point. Now what a trend reversal is when the price breaks out right here, we want to clear a previous range high, and we also want to put in a higher low. So we did see for multiple days on end a higher high right here. So from like the 30th of July until like the 5th of August, we saw it hold this support range. What we don't want to see is the price just to come back up and shoot back down like that, even if it does close for like a day. I want to see multiple days where the price chart stays above a previous range high and puts in higher lows and higher highs to form a new uptrend, right? And so simultaneously, I want to see that trend match the key indicator where we put in higher lows, we're starting to put in higher highs, and now we're also putting higher lows and we're putting in higher highs on a key indicator as well too. This would be a sign for me to potentially enter into some long positions. Again, I'm not telling you guys what to do because this is the past, but right here, this is where I would start entering in long positions. And then I would set like my stop losses and my take profits, back up basically to the previous high. So as you can see, we went all the way back up to the previous high. Look at what happened to the MACD. We reversed all the way back to the upside and came well above the zero line. So now let's look at what's happening right now, and let's see if you guys can see to help educate you so you know what to look for here. That's what I want to help you with. And then if you want more information and an even better technical analysis, then make sure you join Altcoin Pro University. Attend our next Tuesday technical analysis call, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. You guys can attend that. And all of the replays as well too will be back here in the classroom. You just click the link below, go to the classroom, live call recordings right here. Scroll down, you can watch every single live recording that we've ever done. And then the crypto catch-up call recordings and then the technical analysis Tuesdays will be right here. The most recent one was an hour and 42 minutes. So if you guys want to watch that and see what's happening in real time, no nonsense approach to the market from Paul, then I know you're going to absolutely love it. So let's continue in this video. And then if you're getting value from this video, I know you guys are going to love Altcoin Pro. Now check this out. So what we saw happen here was we saw the price chart all the way up here at $1.16 trillion, right? So this is all facts that we're looking at. We simultaneously see a bearish cross take place well above the zero line right here. And so this showed that we were drastically overvalued. Obviously the MACD line, the signal line are all the way upwards of 85 billion. Sure, technically, even with the bearish cross, could have been a fake out. We could have continued higher and like put in a higher high. But when you buy, when we're overly valued like this, you're just buying into FOMO here, the fear of missing out. And then we see these massive consolidations and sell-offs take place. And so we saw an attempted recovery rally back to the high. And it wasn't a higher high like the 2021 example I gave you. It was a lower high, but the key indicator here, the MACD, put in a very much lower high right here, all the way down here at like 22 billion. And so what this was an exaggerated divergence where the price chart can't make a higher high and it could be relatively equal, a little lower, but the indicator is exaggerated, meaning that it's much lower of a high. So it's not really a bearish divergence, because a bearish divergence would be a higher high on the price chart. So we would have passed $1.16 trillion and then just a lower high on it. So this is just an exaggerated bearish divergence. But here's a key that we notice if we zoom in here. After that second bearish cross all the way up here, the MACD has now reset below zero. We've seen two bullish crosses take place below zero, very similar to what we saw happen back here with that example that I just gave you guys from May of 2021 until June of 2021 with a lower low on the price chart and a higher low on the indicator. which was a bullish divergence. And what we just saw happen recently is the exact same thing. We saw a bullish divergence. So if I just move the chart right here side by side, you guys can see this. Lower low on the price chart, higher low on the MACD, and we're below the zero line. Look at the left-hand side of the screen. Lower low on the price chart, higher low on the MACD, and we're above the zero line. So this is a sign for what's potentially to come next. Obviously no guarantees, but we need to look for a trend reversal for confluence as well too with this divergence. And so yes, we did see a bullish cross take place on the 2nd of March where the MACD line for the second time is now passing back above the signal line. So you never want to buy the first bullish divergence, just like right here. If you bought on the 2nd of June of 2021 on this first bullish cross, not divergence, right? I don't want to get you mixed up here. A bullish cross is simply when the MACD line in blue crosses above the signal line in orange. And the further below the zero line right here is just this horizontal line. You can see the histogram in red. And when we pass above the zero line, you can see the histogram change to green. And when we pass below it, you can see it change to red. So the further below the zero line that we see a bullish cross take place, the stronger the reversal signal, but it doesn't happen right away. It's usually a leading indicator of what's to come, but we sometimes do see further sell-offs to the downside after the first one takes place. Case in point is the bullish cross that happened on the 2nd of June. Look at this recovery right here. It was just a failed attempted recovery where we put in a lower high on the price chart and then we drop further to the downside for a lower low, whereas the indicator put in a higher low. And so we saw the exact same thing happen on this bullish cross right here. On the 14th of February, the price attempted to make another high. It was just a failed recovery rally. And then we saw a fake out, right? Bearish cross, just like we saw happen right here, bearish cross, and then another sell-off to the downside, another sell-off to the downside. And so what we're gonna go through over the next week to 2 weeks, potentially throughout this month, in my opinion, is very similar to what we saw happen right through here. And it's gonna scare a lot of people. So until we put in a higher high, and relatively, I would wanna see a higher high than $950, $960 billion. Just like back here at $530 billion, we didn't put in a higher high than that until like the 1st of August. And then we held that range right here from like the 30th of July until the beginning of August. So for a few weeks, we don't just want to see it happen for one day. Like this Trump pump that happened right here for all these cryptos right now, that was short-lived. That was not sustainable. So what I would want to see is clearing of $950 to $960 billion. And simultaneously, I would want to see the MACD make a recovery on out of here, like what we saw happen back in 2021, closer to the zero line. So confluence for me is number one, we've seen a bullish divergence, which is sign number one. That's step one. But for confluence number two, I would want to see a trend reversal. So a trend reversal is just basically, even if we roll over right here, we could technically be putting in a higher low. That doesn't mean it's a trend reversal until we put in a higher high and a higher low to then signal the first step of a trend reversal. To me, this is what I would want to see to get more bullish on the market. Otherwise, I'm pretty neutral right now. I think we're going to go through something similar to what we went through back here. We could even see potentially a back test of $750 billion. It's very well possible. But ideally, we want to see the support hold at $750 billion, just like we saw about $400 billion hold right here, while we put in a higher low on the indicator. We also put a higher low on the price chart. That's what I would want to see. Higher low on the price chart, higher low on the MACD. And this brings me to the XRP to the US dollar price chart as well too, compared to Ethereum. I showed you guys in this in a previous video, and we're seeing it play out pretty similarly for XRP to Ethereum. For example, back here on the 13th of March, Ethereum rallied up to $15. Can you guys even imagine buying Ethereum at $15 back then? I accumulated Ethereum all the way back in 2016, 2017's bull run when Ethereum was just a few $100s. So where XRP is right now is very similar to where Ethereum was back in 2016, 2017. And let me explain why. Look at the price chart right here on the 13th of March when Ethereum was at 15 bucks. It put in a higher high at $21. What happened on the MACD? We put in a lower high right here, bearish divergence. Look at XRP's price chart on the 3rd of December, $2.90. We put in a higher high to nearly $3.40 right here, depending on what price chart you're looking at. Then look at the indicator. The MACD put in a lower high, bearish divergence. It means momentum has shifted from bullish momentum to now bearish momentum. It could not sustain the rally. And so this is why we saw a sell-off for XRP of like nearly 50% or something like that. Like what was that sell-off? I mean, if we go from $3.37 down to that wick, yeah, like 47, almost 50%. Look at Ethereum sell-off that took place from this high right here. It was 60%, even all the way down to this low, 71%. So after this massive move from like under $1 for Ethereum to $15, of course there's going to be a major pullback. Of course there's going to be a major pullback for XRP from 50 cents upwards of $3 and some consolidation. That's inevitable. So we need to look at the chart and look for confluence here, because after Ethereum sold off from $21, it took some time to break out of this range right here. And so we saw the MACD come all the way down here below the zero line, and we even saw a bullish cross at like the 9th to 10th of September. So this was a major fake out. So you want to be careful right now, because we need to see a trend reversal on Total 3's chart as well as XRP's chart. I mean, if I were to just draw a horizontal array for where the resistance is, it's at like $2.80 to $2.90. So I'd want to see us decisively close above $2.90. That's what I would want to see, and hold it for multiple days on end, not just for one Trump pump that is unsustainable like this, okay? So for Ethereum, we saw the same thing happen. Ethereum attempted to come back up to about $14 or $15, and it was rejected from this resistance. This was not a trend reversal. So this was a fake out, a fake bullish cross. Even though it confirmed it by passing above the zero line, look at the fake out. We then saw a bearish cross, and the price continued to the downside to backtest this previous low of about $7 as support. So XRP has a very strong zone of support and demand right here at the $2 region to $1.93. This would be the next stop for XRP if we see $2.80, $2.90 get rejected a second time after this White House news. If there's not some crazy news that happens at the White House tomorrow, then I don't think this recovery rally is going to be sustainable for XRP, and I think we could roll back down to the downside. Now, the real question is if we put in a higher low or if we just put in an equal low, is what we saw on the 20th of February. We'll see, but I do have some cautionary warning for you guys right now, because even with that Trump news for XRP being listed first as a part of the strategic crypto reserve, it was not enough to get it back into a new high. So there's got to be back-to-back things happening, and there's got to be the perfect storm of global liquidity as well too for XRP to break out into a new high. So if we don't see the MACD line pass well above the zero line along with the signal line after this bullish cross that just took place right now, then we most likely could see this be another bull trap for the market, for the MACD to continue to the downside, similar to what happened for Ethereum between the 6th of October of 2016 all the way down here to the 1st of January of 2017. This is very well possible to come back down within this range right here, because what I want to look for XRP is some type of divergence, and I'm not really seeing that right now, because as you can see on the MACD, it put in a lower low, where the price chart as well too put in a lower low. So this is not a bullish divergence yet, because if we're seeing a lower low on the price chart, we would want to see a higher low on the indicator, and we're just not seeing that right now. We're seeing lower low on the price chart, lower low on the indicator. So which tells me XRP could potentially continue to the downside, because we're still in a downtrend. We're just seeing lower highs and we're seeing lower lows get put in right here. So XRP could continue back down to this zone of support, even sweep it out, causing a fake out in this bullish cross right here. And then what I would want to see is a higher low on the indicator with a lower low on the price chart. This would tell me that XRP's low is in, and then we work our way through here the rest of this year to form a new high. If we don't see that, or if we don't see the high of the 3rd of December clear and hold as support, then I'm a little more bearish than I am bullish on XRP. Now, some people might look at the title of this video and the thumbnail and be like, I thought you said XRP is going to $10,000. No, you idiot. You got to listen to the video, and you got to listen to the context of what I'm actually talking about, what I'm sharing with you guys on how people are coming up with these crazy price predictions. And the reality of the situation is this: if the charts are telling us one thing and the media is telling us another thing, then we have to trust the charts. The charts tell all. When fundamental news is sometimes fickle, like look at Trump's announcement. Look at how fickle this was. It pumped all the way up here and then dropped down drastically. Like Cardano went, and let me show you guys Cardano's chart just so you can see that I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt here. Cardano went all the way upwards of $1.17. It rallied over 100% and then dropped from like $1.19 down to 75 cents right after the news was announced. That means that the news from the Trump pump was fickle. It was unsustainable. And now everyone in the market is relying on this Friday White House meeting right now to pump the markets back up. But the charts don't lie. We just put in an equal high. We didn't put in a higher high. We didn't put in a higher low. So we are still in a downtrend right now since the 3rd of December. Now, look at the MACD right here. For Cardano's chart, we did put in a lower low on the price chart right here, but we did put in a higher low on the MACD, which is actually a pretty good sign for Cardano, because this is a bullish divergence. Lower low on the price chart, higher low on the indicator. And now the signal line is attempting to cross the zero line right here. But it doesn't mean we're out of the woods just yet, because just like I showed you guys, what happened back here for total 3 with this higher low on the MACD right here, and then a lower low on the price chart. We saw this attempted recovery rally right here to put in a lower high. That was another failed rally to come all the way back down to this previous level, put in a higher low on the price chart and a higher low on the key indicator. If I were to just trace this up to Cardano's chart and just compress timeframes right here for example purposes only, it could look something like this, where until we clear like $1.16, we could come all the way back down here to form a higher low on the price chart, or even an equal low while the MACD puts in another higher low, recovering past the zero line. That's definitely possible, because I would expect after the White House meeting is done, the hype about that to wear off, and then the market's looking for the next narrative to get excited about, because people buy into rumors, guys. Trump hasn't even given a speech yet. It's not Friday yet, and the market's bouncing. So I expect this to be short-lived, the market to come back down in the short term. But in the macro, I'm extremely bullish on the crypto market still. It's just a question of if we're going to hold the low from the 28th of February on the next pullback. That's the real question in my mind here. Because as you can see on total 3, we held the previous low above $380 billion and we bounced off $407 billion. And then look at the MACD. We passed well above the zero line and then we got overvalued again. We came all the way up here back to the previous levels that we were at prior to that major crash that took place. And then the market, was finding a top at that point. This is what I think is coming next for the market. The real question is, do we see a higher low, an equal low, or a lower low on the price chart for Cardano coming up over the next few weeks, the next few months, before the next breakout to the upside to find the true all-time high? Because I don't think we're just stopping here, guys. But if the market top is in on the 4th of December, then we topped out a year earlier than expected and really far below the high of 2021, which would be really, really strange. Although anything's possible here, I don't think the top is in just yet. I mean, look at Cardano's chart. We didn't even come up anywhere near to $3. The top recently is $1.30, and it's part of the strategic reserve. So for the top to come in a year early, I just don't see that happening right now. I do see us ranging sideways or even further down in the short term, unless we see a clear trend reversal. Look at Solana's chart right here. We're still in a downtrend. We're in a downtrend since the 19th of January, just putting in lower highs and putting in lower lows right here. While the MACD is experiencing its first bullish cross since that recent pullback from the 27th of January. So I'd expect this to be a fake out right here and then to look for some type of divergence. So I'm not bullish on Solana yet. I think this is going to be a failed rally and we'll put in a equal low or potentially a lower low on Solana's price chart to come back down to these levels of demand all the way back here. This support from like the 12th of April. Look, this is a very strong zone of support. This is where I'd expect Solana to come back down within. Roughly $122 right here, and then bounce, do something like this. Then we'll look for some type of divergence on the MACD before we see a recovery come in for Solana. Otherwise, I'm kind of bearish on Solana right now. So while the market continues to range sideways, if we don't see a trend reversal in the short term, there are ways to make money in this market outside of, XRP or Solana or Cardano that you guys can capitalize on in the DeFi space that our research team will share with you each and every single day. For example,
our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below. Get in right now. Watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree, if that's a goal of yours. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.